Here's why Dan McClellan is wrong about Mark's Christology.
All right, let's see it.
He first claimed that
In the Gospels of Mark and Matthew, which absolutely don't represent Jesus as God.
Now he stated that as if that's a fact. And when I called him out for this and said that Mark represents Jesus as God, he suddenly changed his mind.
Spoiler alert, no I didn't.
But instead of admitting that he was wrong, he now said that the identity of Jesus is ambiguous and that Mark represents Jesus as God in some way.
Spoiler alert again, no I did not.
But Mark just doesn't conclude how that works. Take a listen.
We think Jesus represents God in some way, but we're not really going to nail that down for you because we want it to be ambiguous. So let's take another look at what Jacob claims that I said.
He now said that the identity of Jesus is ambiguous and that Mark represents Jesus as God in some way.
And then the clip that Jacob played, wherein I said something entirely different.
Take a listen.
We think Jesus represents God in some way. So saying that Jesus represents God in some way is absolutely not saying Mark represents Jesus as God.
Dan should have just admitted that he lied.
So we've got a problem here, Jacob. And the problem is that I didn't lie, and you know I didn't lie, but you're refusing to take accountability for your misunderstanding and your misrepresentation of my comments, which have been consistent for years when discussing communicable divine agency and early Christology. I've made dozens and dozens of videos about this for my social media channels. I have published the same language in peer-reviewed venues. Back in 2017, in Biblical Interpretation, I published Cognitive Perspectives on Early Christology, where I use the same language. I published a book in 2022 called Adonai's Divine Images, A Cognitive Approach, where I laid out a theoretical model for communicable divine agency, and then in an appendix discussed how that informs our understanding of early Christology. You have said elsewhere that you read my book, so you know that this is consistent with the language that I've been using for years, and you have flatly, demonstrably, indisputably misunderstood and misrepresented my comments and then accused me of lying and refusing to admit it. Now, I've already posted comments on your videos pointing out this misunderstanding. I did so as soon as I saw this video, as you can see here. And instead of actually engaging my concern, you responded to other people commenting on that thread, flippantly dismissing my concerns. And then when I commented again, are you really just going to ignore the fact that you flatly misrepresented what I said? You never responded. That's not engaging in good faith. I'm engaging you in good faith. I'm being perfectly honest with you, and if you identify errors in my rhetoric or in my scholarship, I'm happy to admit it. I've demonstrated that numerous times on this channel. It's your turn to demonstrate that you can return the favor and that you can engage in good faith. And the fit for this video is a black and white version of Jim Lee's X-Men number 11.